Right. So picture this. I just finished reading Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed. My girlfriend gifted me a copy for Valentine's Day. I sobbed the whole way through. I'm hooked. I can't get enough. I start searching up how I can watch the show. I get it. I watch it. I cry some more. Episode 4. All the things you said, running through my head. I'm finished. The music direction is masterful so far. I'm starting to wonder who I should be sending fan mail to. Episode 5. Oh my god. Ilya's dad's dead. We're gonna get the monologue. I'm so excited. It's one of, if not my favorite scene from the whole book. I'm so excited. I'm ready to cry my eyes out. Shane says, I have an idea. I'm so sat, the seat might as well be part of my body. And then I hear this. It's pervasive, it's jarring, it's oversaturated, it's cheesy, way too much. This is an awful choice, and I'm so disappointed. Now, before you start typing in the comments, I want to say that I adore this project as a whole. This is genuinely one of the most beautiful love stories I've ever read, and Jacob Tierney's adaptation is nothing short of a masterpiece and work of art. And as I say it, Scotty Taylor's music direction is phenomenal. For the most part. So I think I should explain why I was so jarred by the use of Beethoven here, particularly this first movement of the Moonlight Sonata. But in order to get there, we need some historical context first. Now, if you've never seen me before in your life, you might be thinking, who does this person think she is? What could they possibly know about this? And why should I care? Well, hi, I'm Iman, freelance composer, professional fangirl, classically trained for 18 years in violin, piano, and music theory, 5 years in classical composition and orchestration techniques, currently completing a master's degree in media, music, and sound design. When you combine those credentials with the rabid obsession of someone who grew up in fandom, I'm gonna have a lot of opinions about the music in the media that I enjoy. And now that you trust me enough to hear me out, let me explain. Ludwig van Beethoven, baptized on the 17th of December 1770, was a pianist and composer during the transition between the classical and romantic eras in Western classical music. His works are still performed regularly, a standard part of both solo piano and orchestral repertoire. You might be familiar with his famous Ninth Symphony, the Sonata Pathétique, and you might even have been familiar with the work in question, Sonata No. 2, Opus 27, nicknamed Moonlight Sonata. Beethoven didn't call it that. Most sources agree that Moonlight comes from a music critic named Ludwig Rellstab, who compared the effect of the first movement to the way that moonlight shone on Lake Lucerne. The name then caught on, and it's still the way that we refer to this work today. Back then, though, 'twas controversial, babes. More on that later. The tea behind the actual sonata is that in 1801, Beethoven met a young countess by the name of Julie Guicciardi. He was working for the Brunswick family, and he met her through them. I also feel the need to clarify that at this time, Beethoven would have been 31, and Julie was 14 years younger than him. Anyway, he wrote to a friend about Miss Girl later in the year, but class difference prevented him from pursuing her. Class difference. Nothing else. You saw nothing. Then dedicated this sonata, now known as Moonlight, to her instead. I've seen a few people referencing that this is the reason why this music was chosen. It's music written for love, for forbidden love, and immortal love. But that's where people get it confused. Julie was not Beethoven's immortal love. I don't blame y'all for mixing this one up, because the love of his life was someone who he met before her and was still in love with while he was messing around with her. I feel like we need a different section just for this. So he dedicated Moonlight to Julie Guicciardi, a girl he met through the Brunswicks. But the person he loved, his immortal love, was actually one of the Brunswicks. Countess Josephine von Brunswick was so special to him that he wrote Andante Favore for her, a musical declaration of love in every single way you could imagine. Musicologists analyze the main theme as a chant of her name, Josephine, Josephine. Her family was not fucking with that though, and basically forced her to end their relationship, because ain't no way a composer is marrying a countess. The gall, the gumption, the audacity. They never got to be together, and when she died, Beethoven composed his last two piano sonatas, number 31 and 32. They've been described as requiems by musicologists, who also note the references to Josephine's theme in the Andante Favore. Josephine, Josephine. Wait! The thing is, this kind of heart on sleeve, transparent, and almost uncomfortably intense nature is not isolated in just these works. Beethoven was described by many people to be choleric and hot-tempered. Outside of his connection with Josephine, he formed many fast and intense attachments, fixations even, that led to musical dedications. Beethoven's music is reflective of his own emotional intensity. It bleeds into everything he wrote. So, remember the controversy? Many critics over the years have rejected the name Moonlight because it feels too romantic and subjective. This music sounds like a funeral dirge. Others have said that it's appropriate for the first movement alone, much like what Railstub said. Some were like, well, nobody in the general public objected to it, so what's the problem? Karl Czerny, one of Beethoven's pupils, described the first movement as a ghost scene. Franz Liszt, considered by many to be the romantic composer, era and character.
Electric chair.
He described it as an abyss. Right. I'm inclined to agree with the haters. I don't hear moonlight glimmering on the surface of a lake. The repeated notes in the right hand and the darkness of the left, they make me think of tolling funeral bells. There's a heaviness in this music that's almost too much to bear. A drama that's so intense and undeniable. It's deliberate, relentless, and obvious. And other uses of this piece in film, at least the ones that I could find, seem to fit with this feeling. The 2022 Interview with a Vampire remake. The music is used as the intro and outro music to reference the point in the original film adaptation when everybody turned on Lestat. Vampire music. It's dark, it's heavy, it's poignant, it's quite perfect. It was also used in the 2007 adaptation of Jane Austen's Persuasion, a story of a couple reunited years after a broken engagement, wondering if rekindling their old flame is even a possibility. The music is played by the main character as her beau looks on her from afar. The intention here is clear as it is in the music. It's not just period accurate. You're being told something about what he feels and how he feels it, deeply and obviously, like Beethoven, transparent. Also,
As a man, why does your beard not connect? As a grown man, why are you biting your lip and posting thirst traps on the internet?
Listen, don't come for me. There's a reason why the music can be used in a comedic sense. If you have a situation that doesn't fit this music, it's very hard to take it seriously. So now that you know that I'm a hater and a nerd, yikes, you're probably wondering, what the hell does this have to do with Ilya on the phone? Well, Beethoven's music is undeniably transparent. It's heart on your sleeve music. There's no hiding. It shows itself in a way that begs to be understood. And above all else, it wants to be seen. It's everything that Ilya is not in this scene. As transparent as Ilya is being in this moment, there's still an indisputable veil between him and Shane. That veil being that Shane can't understand what the fuck he's saying. He's also scared shitless of anyone finding it out. He's not Beethoven on his knees crying out to the heavens, begging to be seen. He's holding on to his feelings with the last shreds of his sanity and composure. He's extremely guarded. When Shane asks later on in the scene how to say, "I wish you were here," he replies back to him in Russian that he feels the same way. A half reciprocation. Still not fully committing to saying directly and transparently that he feels the same way. And that's after he makes innuendos and lighthearted jokes to deflect the attention from himself. He's not Beethoven. I don't think Beethoven ever went JK unless to Josephine. In my opinion, the music being so overt and obvious pushes the portrayal of his inner turmoil into melodrama. It makes it feel cliche and over the top. It feels like the audience is being beaten over the head to understand and feel something that we already know is true, instead of highlighting the layers of complexity within the characters and their dynamic. We know that this is quasi-doomed yaoi and that Ilya is in an awful position and head over heels for Shane, and we don't need Beethoven levels of drama to tell that to us. Now, your next line is, "And what about it, Miss Samantha? Are you saying that you would have done a better job?" No. I'm not trying to insult anybody. I understand the reasons why that this music might have been chosen. But if in some hypothetical dream universe I was tasked with co-scoring the show, I'm available. I'm graduating in July. Here's how I would approach this scene. You didn't think I would do it, would you? Joke's on you. I'm way too crazy to not make this show my entire personality for the foreseeable future. Since I'm composing, start with coming up with a theme to represent Ilya's turmoil. Something sad, yet beautiful. Real conflicting stuff. I settled on this simple, haunting melody and alternated with open intervals and cluster chords to create the sense of hollowness with the occasional crunch, really stab you in the gut. Once I have the theme, I start to spot the scene. I figure out where everything should land and make sure that the music moves with Ilya and his speech. Then we go forth into arranging. When the score is done, I beg my beloved friend and housemate to record the piano part for me because all of my virtual instruments have plinky plonky goofy playback. Shout out to James Kruzaleghi, he's a wonderful composer himself. I record the violin myself, trying to do my best Joshua Bell impression, and then glue together my best takes and mix for 5 million years because I've never known a day of peace in my whole life. I'm personally quite pleased at how this came out. It's a very simple arrangement, but I feel like that's what this moment really needed. I caught myself tearing up while listening to it after my project mania had waned, and I felt like I was really able to appreciate Connor Story's performance in a way that I wasn't before. Yes. Unfortunately, it was that deep. I mean, look at how I was when I first spotted the clip without the music. I'm literally sobbing. What the fuck? Oh my god. I did not cry like that when I watched it the first time. Music is so important when you're telling a story. It's so important. I took the music away. I can hear him now. And I can feel it. I can feel it so clearly. He's so sad and he's so afraid. Thank you for watching and giving me some of your precious time. If you'd like to watch this rescore in its entirety, the link will pop up on the screen somewhere, or you can find the link in the description. Follow me on Instagram as well to know when the audio-only version is dropping. I'll put it on SoundCloud, or I'll do another YouTube thing. Instagram is also useful for any future updates and polls for my upcoming video topics. Come and join my community. We've got a good little thing building. The fan club is growing. Should I call you guys the fan club? Because if I'm the professional fangirl, the community is the community of fans. Fan club pro club, professional fan club. Professional fans? We'll work on that. If I get copyright strike by Miss HBO, then I'll post the girl on my LinkedIn. We have a solution for everything around here. Anyways, ciao besties. And always remember to kill the part of you that cringes.
Oh girl, oh my god.